Right. The space between the flag and the black man is too large. That's too wide of a space. So we need to bring that together. Right. Guys, you need to tell me if the broadcast is clear. I'm going to do a question answer session that we're going to do. And this is the first time I'm doing this as Mayor-Elect, because I know there are questions that you guys have. I know I said, what time did I say? I said, did I say 13:50? I know it's late. I don't like that picture of a woman on top. Do you know who that is? What is there not to like about it? Do you know who that is, first of all? Guys, also, could you tell me in the comments if my sound is good? Am I good? Have you ever eaten lunch? Yes, I have. We want an office tour of Civic. Well, this is my office here at Simoson. I'll give you an office tour once I get there. But I just wanted to show you around. But please tell me if you guys can hear me, first of all. Makango says, we want an office tour. How are you doing? I'm fine. Do you know who that is, first of all? Do you know who that is? That is the great Diana Ross. Perfect sound. Good. So this is Simoson building. As many of you know, I have two offices. I usually do my recording, vlogging in this office. This is a smaller office. I've had this office for many, many years. What do you think of this little contraption here? It actually floats. See there? It's got a magnetic effect. Let's proceed, yes. So this is a smaller office that I have. When people come to see me, they sit there, usually. That's the door. That's the door leading into this office here. Right. So I'm going to take you to my main office. I know. Oh, wait a minute. I need to get my stuff. I need to get my hat and my phone. I know, you're going to tell me about the door. I know, I need to put oil or something in the door. I know. That's a poster of Kal-El. Right. This is the walkway of Simoson. This is my other office here. Right. So I just want to show you around, and then I'm going to sit down, and then I'm going to do a question and answer thing. Okay, so I'm going to close the door like that. Now, I'll sit, I've got two desks. I'll sit at that desk there sometimes. I'll sit there. When I have guests that are coming to see me in this office, I'll usually direct them, they'll sit on that red bench there, and I'll usually sit here. So I'm going to show you my vantage point from my desk. This is an old desk. I've had this desk for years. I've had this desk. Okay, so I'll sit. This is my little corner here. That's my wife there. That's her. Right, that's a bike that I don't even ride it. So I'll sit at the desk like this. And so this is my workstation. This is my workstation here. My other workstation is there. And sometimes I'll watch TV, you know. I know the ceiling is not pretty, but this is Simoson. Okay? It's not Manda Hill or anything. Right. And then I've got my hat. When I go outside, I'll wear this hat now that I'm Lusaka Mayor. And of course, this is my phone. And did you guys watch the live video? The live video where I bought a Bible. Tell me in the comments if you saw that. Tell me if you saw that. Tell me in the comments if you saw I was at East Park and I bought a Bible. Did you see that? Tell me in the comments if you've seen that. Tell me. I'm waiting for the comment that says, yes, I saw the video of you buying a Bible. You didn't see that? Well, for those of you that didn't see it, I was at East Park earlier today and I bought that Bible. Somebody says, yes, I did. So this is a gigantic Bible. This is the King James Version. See there? So what I've done is that I've taken it and I've put it on that is made out of a tire. That's an old tire. There's a young lady that makes all these little cute little thingamabobs. That's made out of an old tire. So I bought the King. This is a gigantic Bible. So I've put it here as a centerpiece deal, like that. And then I'm going to part it down the middle like Moses did the Red Sea. And then it's just going to be an open. What do you think? Tell me. What do you think of that? I usually sit there when my guests come to see me. I sit there. And then my guests will either sit there or on these chairs. Now, when I take a break, I'll sit here and watch television. That's a TV. That is a real telescope, okay? And of course, that's just a sitting area. I like that. So, all right, so this is my other workstation here. Okay, this is my other workstation. So if I sit at this desk here, if I sit on this chair, at this desk, this is what you see. Right. So you've got the books there. That's my son. That's one of our sons. He's the last one. Right. This is a fragrance that I like. Okay, because I like a nice smelling room. So I'll spray it against the curtain there. All you need is a bit of this. You can't put too much. If you put too much, the scent is overwhelming. Okay, so you don't want that. I'm a fanatic when it comes to clocks. I love clocks. I love watches. I love clocks. I have clocks everywhere. So this is my other workstation. That is a pen holder. That's Einstein there. This is a real radio. It's an old radio. It's one of these vintage. And of course, I always have wipes handy. Because, you shake people's hands and these are coasters that were given to my father by the late Tom Bradley, the late and former mayor of Los Angeles. Tom Bradley, he gifted my father these coasters. And he gave my father these coasters in 1979 or 78, one of those. And I still have them, and they're still in perfect condition. I have 4 of them, so I usually have one there. These are coasters. Coasters, for those of you that may not know, not everybody knows what a coaster is. A coaster is where you put your cup so that the cup doesn't leave a stain on your desk. So this is a coaster. This is one. Let me show you the others. Okay, so here are the other coasters. Here, for my guests, when they sit there, so that when you come here and I serve you Coca-Cola or Fanta or Sprite, you put your drink on those coasters there. And then, of course, the last one is at my desk there, is on my desk. Right, so I'm going to call Dex. And that's me, of course. Of course, I'm not that light-skinned. This is Lusaka City. This is a map. And these are the coordinates. These are the coordinates for Lusaka. Okay, that is Janet Jackson. I'm a big Janet Jackson fan. This is a painting that's been in my family for more than 50 years, this painting. You see, did I not tell you? Did I or did I not say that I am a fanatic for clocks? That's another clock. I like this clock. I bought this clock from Cozy House. About 2 years ago. What do you think? Tell me. And then, of course, that's an ornament that I like. Right, and so here's the other coaster. Should be here. Yeah, here it is. Here's the other coaster. So there are 4 coasters altogether. Right. So I'm going to call Dex, and then you guys can ask me questions. I'm going to sit there. Dexter's going to come in, and he's going to ask me questions. Hi, Dex. So I'm going to close the curtain there so that... Come in, Dex. So that we don't have... Oh, you'll sit there. Right. All right, so this is the shot we want. Yeah, just like this. Mm-hmm. Maybe you move the chair here. Mm-hmm. So that's the shot there. Mm-hmm. So you just hold it steady. And then I'm going to read off their questions. Right. So guys, I'm going to sit, and then I'm going to read your questions. Right. Fire away. And I'm going to answer them as they come, so let's just... Is there enough light? Is it okay? All right. I should have done the light thing. You know what? I think we should sit there. Yeah. Hang on. Does it really? Okay. Let me just make sure that we're on here. Okay. Is there enough light? Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, guys. Let's start. Okay, I need to sit up instead of slouching. I don't like slouching. I prefer to sit up straight. Okay, are we good? Okay. So I'm going to start with Mr. Mwewa. Oh, I can't see your questions now. There we go. Okay, when are you going to town, Mr. Mwewa? I'm in town. We're in town right now. I'm at Simoson Building. Where do you think I am? I'm at Simoson opposite City Market. Yeah, my goodness. Yeah? Right. What are your actual plans for Lusaka? Well, I've often said it, and I'll never tire of saying it. It's to clean the city first. I've always believed that if we start from the vantage point of cleanliness, and there's a lot of work to do there, if we start from there, we can deal with all the other difficulties and challenges that Lusaka faces. And there are many. So that's my plan. Right. Is it possible to mentor someone who wants to be a mayor, say in Malawi or Mozambique? Say the person has a passion. Well, I'm not here to mentor anyone. I'm here to serve the people of Lusaka. Are you planning to utilize prisoners to clean up the city? Interesting fact about that. Do you know that about 15 years ago, it might have been 20 years, no, 15 years ago, we used to pay Chimbokaila prison to sweep Simon Mwewa Lane. In those days, the road had no name. It was just a walk path. And we used to pay, this might have been 20 years ago, not 15, 20 years ago. We used to pay Chimbokaila prison 1 million kwacha in those days to come, and they would bring prisoners from Chimbokaila prison, and they would sweep this road. We did that for about a year and a half. And then I remember writing a letter to the town clerk at the time, and the mayor of Lusaka at the time. And I said, look, we spend X amount of money every month to clean this walk path. Would it be okay if we named it Simon Mwewa Lane? And it was then that the mayor at that time, I think it was Chikwelete at that time, I could be wrong, they approved that, and that's how the name of the street was changed to Simon Mwewa Lane. So the answer to that is, I'm not planning on using prisoners per se, but we do have a history of using prisoners. All right, His Worship, when are you launching the Keep Zambia Clean campaign? Well, we're not launching Keep Zambia Clean. What we're doing is that we're going to be launching the Make Zambia Clean. My belief has always been that we have to, first of all, make the city clean, because it's not clean in the first place. Make it clean first, and then subsequently, thereafter, keep it clean. So that's what we're going to do. What else? What else? I love this question. How are you? I'm asking, what are you going to do about Freedom Way? Freedom Way has many problems. One of them is the illegal installation of bus stops. The reason Freedom Way has become what it is today, which is just a hodgepodge of a mess. There is no coordination there whatsoever. Everybody there just does what they want. The number one problem there is the arbitrary, illegal installation and erection of bus stops along the road, the allowance of our traders on the road. We need to move all the buses into established bus stations so that the stations earn an income, the stations earn a revenue that in turn bleeds into Lusaka City Council coffers so that Lusaka City Council can provide services. Remember, I always tell you, Lusaka City Council has two functions: revenue collection, service delivery. If you are impeding council's ability to earn a revenue, then you're on the wrong side of history. Okay, so on Freedom Way, the answer is move all the buses into established bus stations, number one. Number two, clear the streets of our traders and relocate them into markets where they belong so that the roads can function, parking space can function, and so that the whole community can benefit. Without doing that, it is impossible to have a clean city. Right. You look nice, Mr. Mayor. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Once sworn into office, will you still work from your office at Simoson, or perhaps you will no longer work at Simoson once officially sworn in? Great question. Two things. My plan, of course, it's at Lusaka City Council, the role of mayor is a full-time job, unlike the councillors. A councillor, that's a part-time job. The mayor's office and role is one that is a full-time job. What I plan to do is, of course, I need to, as an example, because I'm an early bird anyway, even here at Simoson. I usually get here, I'm an early bird, I come here early, and I leave after 17 hours. The reason I leave from Simoson after 17 hours is because I do not want to be stuck in traffic. So I'll stay behind for a little bit, wait for this traffic to subside, and proceed. But the answer to the question is, I do plan to still work at Simoson after my hours at Civic Center. So I will work a full day at Civic Center, and after I knock off, I'll probably come here for maybe an hour and a half, and then go home. That's the plan. Right. Can the markets accommodate all the street vendors in the CBD? Yes. The answer is a resounding yes. All the markets within the CBD, all of them, can accommodate all of our traders with no difficulty whatsoever. I've already answered, what is your immediate plan? What are your types of leaders we need? Oh, you are the type. Thank you for saying that. Afternoon, Mr. Mwewa. when are you occupying the mayor's office at Civic Center? Good question. First of all, what is paramount and what is most important is the inauguration of the president, President Hakainde Hichilema. That falls on the 1st of September. The swearing in of the mayor happens subsequent to that. After that, that could be anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 days. And that's the guidance I've been given. Do you have plans for the people opposite Heroes? That outside market, ka health tesana. We will deal with that when we get there. I've already talked about the street vendors. Our traders, guys, you must understand, and I repeatedly say this, and I will never tire, and I will never stop saying this. It's not about removing street vendors. It's about relocating our traders into safe, established premises. Traders need to trade in markets. When you go to city planning there at Lusaka City Council, you will never see any plan that has to do with any road that accommodates street vending. Not one. In fact, the laws we have in this country dictate that street vending is illegal. Public trading in public roads is illegal. So what we're saying, we're not talking about chasing anybody. That's the wrong narrative. That is false and that is misleading. What we're saying is we are relocating our people into designated markets. Markets where they belong. Markets where they are supposed to trade. Because markets are designed for that. Roads and streets are designed for two things: cars and pedestrians. That is it. Nothing else. Nothing beyond that. Well, the thing is a bit grainy, isn't it? Do you mind telling the owners of shops in town to paint their shops, including Simoson? Yes, I don't mind. Well, no, I don't mind, because that's something that, I mean, we've done that. We've painted the building many times. Of course, this time it needs a repainting, which we have just contracted someone to come and plaster the building and paint it and modify a couple of things here and there. But yes, we have to lead by example, and that is definitely on the cards, and we've already spoken to a contractor to do that. Right. Mr. Mwewa, what was your immediate reaction after winning the Lusaka mayor seat? Kindly describe the moment. Well, I felt a sense of duty to be part of an effort to clean up the city. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I felt that we had to roll up our sleeves as a team, because this effort to clean the city is not a one-man show. The mayor, in and of himself, cannot do that single-handedly. It's going to take synergy, a cohesive effort from all wings, everyone from the top office, RATSA, Zambia National Service, whoever is there to help this effort in cleaning up the city and keeping it permanently clean. We have to enter into a stratosphere of lifestyle. It has to be a lifestyle. The moment we start thinking of it as an event, because that's what our people have been conditioned into believing over time, is that this is an event. It's not an event. It should be a lifestyle change. Once we start thinking lifestyle, because event says from the first to the second, an event says from such a date to such a date. No. The way Zambians are wired, if you tell them it's an event, they'll be waiting by the door. Bazaenda. The moment baenda tizabwe. No, it should be a lifestyle change. That's what we're looking for, a lifestyle change. Right. Are you going to relocate to government mayor office? Yes. Civic Center. And one of the things I'm going to do at Civic Center is, Civic Center, people don't realize how beautiful of a property that is. I mean, but again, Civic Center is underutilized. abused, neglected, just left to its own devices. Civic Center has a beautiful, beautiful lawn, a beautiful landscape there, beautiful topography that nobody pays attention to. One of the things I'd like to do is to hire a landscaping company to install beautiful benches, little gazebos, because people conduct weddings there. What often happens at Civic Center, when you conduct a wedding ceremony there, your guests, they just throw a litter everywhere. And then there's this idea that, no, no, man, we don't want that. We want a property that is not only taken care of, but loved, because Civic Center is a public edifice. It belongs to you, it belongs to me. Do you understand? Right, sir, I know you believe paving over drainage would lead to more vending, but would you consider upgrading the road infrastructure package to include modern walkways, cycling lanes? Yes, I think that's very important. But you see, you have to have the enforcement and the regulatory mechanism to ensure that that is not being abused. Because the moment in Zambia, if you cover an open drainage, especially in the CBD in town, if you surface it, you are literally saying to people, "Bweresani stores must stand mufake pano." In order to mitigate that, you need to have a functional council police workforce, which is something we're going to emphasize and we're going to have to utilize in order to achieve our goal of sanity, cleanliness, and public order. Right. What plans do you have? Okay, I've already said that. Zambia is very proud of you. Thank you. Did I say 2006? Did I say that? My apologies. I don't think I meant 2006. Right. By the way, watching from England, Anderson Banda, thank you. What are your plans for Kanyama? We will deal with that once we get there. Do we have space in the bus stations? Yes, absolutely. All the bus stations, yes. You see, that is an excuse that cadres use to take advantage of the situation. Anytime you hear someone say, no, there's no space, of course there's space. The only thing is that there's no political will to utilize the already existing space. You can't have buses on the road and expect traffic to reduce. It's not possible. Traffic jams are mainly, they occur because we have a system in this country where a lot of our police officers are involved in the transportation industry. So most cops that I know of have buses. So because they have buses, they don't have the impetus, they don't have the commitment to make sure that buses are removed from the middle of the road and operate only within bus stations. That is where the anomaly is. That is where the problem is. One of the problems is that law enforcement is involved in the transportation industry, the transportation sector. And because our law enforcement officers are part and parcel of the public transportation sector, they don't have the impetus or the commitment to ensure that all buses are operating from designated bus stations. Because guys, understand this. If bus stations, go to Millennium Bus Station there, that Millennium Bus Station, as an example, that's just one example, there are many. Go to Millennium Bus Station. Millennium Bus Station is limping, is not making money. Why? Because all the buses are parked outside on the road, causing congestion, and it's only cadres that are making money from buses that are parked on the road. Bus stations like Millennium are limping. Those bus stations are paying council rates, they're paying salaries, they're paying water bills, they're paying electricity bills. They have all types of statutory obligations. But they're not making money. Why? Because the people are using the roads and they're erecting illegal bus stations in the name of entrepreneurship. That's not entrepreneurship. That is you taking advantage of the system for your own benefit, but it disenfranchises, it disadvantages the city of Lusaka. That's wrong. That is wrong, and it should not be like that. All right. How are you going to deal with the backlash from street vendors? There will be no backlash. What I love about our people is that when you show them a better way, they'll go that better way. And as long as you don't use the narrative chasing, nobody's being chased. No one is being chased. Everyone is being relocated. Relocated to the right designated facilities. What are those facilities? Markets. The only answer, there's no other answer, is markets. You can do everything you want. Left, right, center, up, down, every which way but loose. The only solution is markets. There's no other solution. There's no such solution as, no, let's use designated streets for designated hours. Wrong, that's not a solution. That is a temporary solution. No, let us ask our vendors and our street traders to clean their surroundings. Wrong, that never works, okay? Because you are choking the streets and the streets are not functioning. Therefore, what is the solution? Markets. What is the solution? Markets. Markets are the only solution, the only sustainable, viable solution available to our traders and our people. As long as we do that, the city has a chance. But if we don't do that, then we're simply rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. Right. No. Here's a question. Since people don't want to go to stations, what will you do? Because buses follow people, not people following buses. You're wrong. People follow buses. People follow. If a bus is there and it's not here, I'm going to go there. But if you put the bus here, I'm not going to go there. I'll go here. So the key is to make sure the buses are there. Where is there? The stations. I know this is a very controversial school of thought, but that's just the way it is. Okay? And that's how it should work. If we are to have a functional society, a functional community, that's how it should work. Yeah, after twain. All righty. Well, hey, so guys, this is what I'd like to do. What I've done with you here, once I get to the office of mayor, I'm going to shoot for once a month for 30 minutes. Once a month for 30 minutes, come live and talk to the people with experts within the council, because how many people know that the mayor doesn't have all the answers? The mayor's office has a team of people from planning, housing, accounts, human resource, all different departments. So the idea is to come to the people of Lusaka once a month for 30 minutes, and we deal with certain different constituencies, different communities, some of the challenges that our communities are facing, and do everything we can to alleviate and to deal with those issues. For example, if you're in a community that doesn't have proper street lighting and you highlight that deficit, our job as Lusaka City Council under the CDF and many other programs is to ensure that we deliver that service to our communities as best as we can. If you live in a community and you use a road that has a faded zebra crossing, pedestrian crossing, we galvanize the efforts and the relevant, wings of the local authority to ensure that we put pedestrian crossings. If there's a traffic light that doesn't work, we make sure that that's done. And many other bigger issues in and around the CBD and indeed the district. So that's the plan. You were elected in 2006. Was I? Elected for what? What do you mean? Explain that. Right. Okay. Well, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Dex, if you can just give it to me. I'll point it this way. And then, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, Dex. Appreciate it. And I'll let Dex go. And I'm going to sit here and see if I can. So this is the cushion. And that's the television set. So this is the remote. So sometimes I'll watch TV. Not all the time, but sometimes I will watch television. And, over lunch or something. And this is where I sit. That's my little side table there. That's my phone. These are coasters I got from, I love these coasters. This is the map of Cyprus. The ladies that clean my office, I tell them, if you ever break these coasters, don't tell me, because I'm going to need therapy to get over the fact that you've broken my coasters. So the ladies that clean this office are always very careful. They know that these are very dear to me. And, they know that. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.